And the responsibility is ours to make sure that we bequeath and gift to them every opportunity that we had. Every opportunity our parents had. Every opportunity our grandparents had and our great-grandparents had. We cannot allow it to end with us. The word opportunity. We're committed to the future. And that's why I believe that America has decided that Barack Obama will be a one-term president. Well, let's bring our wonderful moderator forth. Her name is CJ. CJ, it's all yours. That's okay. We'll have sound. It'll be there.
Try this one more time. Hey, everybody. My name is CJ Lake. I'm a rising sophomore at the University of South Carolina. Just so y'all know, go Gamecocks. Just so y'all know, again, this is a nationally telecasted event, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Meeting. We will be taking questions from Facebook, I'm assuming Twitter, and from the audience. So this is your chance to have a dialogue with Congresswoman Bachmann. I'll take the first question.
Hey, Congresswoman Bachmann. Cap, cut, and balance. I hope I said that right. Where do you stand on cap, cut, and balance? It's a new pledge, and I don't know where you stand. I don't know if you signed off on that or not.
Well, there's someone that I think extremely highly of who called me on Friday afternoon. You may know him. His name is Senator Jim DeMint.
Oh, yeah.
I love and have the deepest respect for. And Jim and I had a wonderful conversation on cut, cap, and balance. And the Heritage Foundation, if any of you are familiar with Heritage Foundation at heritage.org, has put together a wonderful explanation on cut, cap, and balance. And I am, as I do with every piece of legislation, I actually read the bills, by the way. I think that's a good idea, don't you? And by the way, I do have to apologize to you this evening. I did not bring my teleprompters with me tonight. And I know, you're not used to seeing a president or a presidential candidate without them, but I think that maybe you're ready for the unvarnished truth. Do you think that's true? I think you are in South Carolina. But I spoke with Senator DeMint about cut, cap, and balance, and as I do with every proposal, I like to research it thoroughly. I told Jim, I've got a busy weekend coming up. I'm announcing to be the President of the United States. I will take a look at this, and we're in the process of examining it. Part of what I want to see happen going forward is the full defunding of Obamacare. Just the defunding. I will commit to you tonight that as President of the United States, I won't quit until we have the full-scale repeal of Obamacare. You can take that check to the bank and you can cash it because that is the truth. So part of what I want to do on cut, cap, and balance is add to that. Because I want to add the full defunding of Obamacare. It is my opinion this is such an unpopular bill and was passed against the will of the American people that I believe that at this juncture we need to stand up to President Obama and say no more. Because quite literally, I don't know if you all know, but there is $105,464,000,000 that was put into the Obamacare legislation. And if you do a LexisNexis search, you won't find one newspaper story out there telling you that there was $105,464,000,000 in the Obamacare bill. Now, how often is it that your senators and your representatives vote for $105,464,000,000 in spending, and they don't even know that money's in the bill? Now, this is why you've got to read these bills before you pass them. Not one Republican voted for Obamacare. That says something for the Republican Party. Go ahead, Stephen. Does that answer your question? I really like what I'm seeing in cut, cap, and balance. I really like it. I probably want to go a little further. Go ahead.
This question is coming from Facebook, from Frank V. Congresswoman Bachmann, what would your first steps be to turn the economy around?
Well, number one, I would stop the spending. The spending is out of control in Washington, D.C. And let me give you just a little bit of a flavor of how bad it is. In the last Republican budget in 2007, we had a deficit of $160 billion. The deficit this year, about $1.5 trillion. That's not quite 10 times more than 4 years ago. Now that gives us some context. Let me just drill down and give you a little anecdote. At the very beginning of the recession, there was one employee at the Department of Transportation, the Federal Department of Transportation, that made over $170,000 a year. A year and a half into the recession, there were 1,690 employees at the Department of Transportation making over $170,000 a year. This means government has been living large during the recession when the rest of us have been tightening our belts and when our businesses haven't been able to do the hiring they'd like to be able to do. I think all these obesity programs in Washington, D.C. need to be focused on the federal government's obesity problem. So I would begin with spending, and that's a long answer. We have a lot we can do, but it all begins with spending.
We'll take the next question from the audience.
And make sure the microphone is on.
I think it's on. Hi, Mrs. Bachmann.
Hello, Allie.
I'm Allie Briggs. Well, there's a lot of talk about the lack of partisan participation in Congress, and issues dealing with the economy and healthcare aren't getting solved. So do you think it is necessary for you to compromise on some of your beliefs? And if so, how are you prepared to do that, to solve these problems?
Very good question. Let me give you an example. I'm very pleased. The district that I represent in Congress has one of the longest unfinished bridge projects in the history of the United States. We just have not figured out how to get this bridge built. And now, recently, just in the last few months, I was able to bring together a Republican governor and a Democrat governor, because this is a bridge connecting two states, so it's two states. The Democrat senators and the Republican senators and the Republican House members and the Democrat House members. And we are very close now, for the first time, to get a bill through and get this done. It won't be federal money. It will be money from each of the states. I come from the state of Minnesota. I'm the first Republican woman ever to get elected from the state of Minnesota. We are not what you might call a conservative state in Minnesota. And so I was able to get Senator Al Franken to go along with this bill. Now let's be nice. You're very nice here in South Carolina. You're very sweet people. But all to say, it is possible to get something done if you just try to use reasonable, fair-minded principles to make it done. But make no mistake, I have a core set of principles. And one thing you need to know about me, I say what I mean, and I mean what I say. And I don't deviate from that. And I may be wearing a nice yellow dress this evening, but I have a titanium spine going up and down my back. And that's what we need in the White House, is a titanium spine. Thank you, Alex. CJ.
Just as an aside, just to let y'all know what the magnitude of this event is, there are 500 people in an overflow room, so we're currently trying to get questions from there too. But I'll take the next question from the audience. Yeah, that deserves applause probably.